So let's get in this thing and have you walk us through some of the interior features.
Yeah, let's do it.
What's the first thing that just caught your eye as far as the interior? And then I want to hear your 5-foot-tall wife. What's the thing that she loves the most about the interior in here?
Yeah, probably the biggest thing that caught my attention, is the details on the Platinum. You get leather in the lariat, but you don't get this suede insert and this Platinum badging. You've got the suede on your seats, the Platinum badging on your seats. I have they call them the max recline seats. That's why you have this extra paneling, because this actually will lay completely flat. So on those long road trips like we've had before, you can literally take a nap. And not to mention, you mentioned what you want to know, my wife's favorite thing is this has massage seats. So when you lay flat, you can still have the massager running and take that nap that you need to.
Well, you can feel like you're at the day spa while driving down the road in this.
Exactly.
So tell us what else makes this Platinum version special.
You can get a lot of the stuff that comes on the Platinum in the Lariat, but a lot of the luxury stuff doesn't. So the massage seats you don't get in the Lariat. The Max Recline, I'm not sure, you might be able to get that on the Lariat, but again, you don't get this trim. You know, the fine details, the suede, the tan stitching, the leather on the side panels, this wood accent. Everywhere it says Platinum, you know, it's kind of a statement piece. They do have a lot of features that come with the Platinum. You know, I've got the Bang & Olufsen sound system with, I believe, 18 speakers with a 8-inch sub and an amp in the back behind the back seat. So this thing bumps, with straight off the line, like without having to go spend $1,000 at an audio.
Well, let's hear a little.
These fucking rappers front, talking shit behind your back and shake your hand and hit the blunt to see the difference with me. I grew up with the G's in the West Bank streets, running drugs up on my bike when I was just 13. Every day another fight, but I was scared to bleed to beat my ass.
This is an upgrade speaker system. So it comes with a Bang & Olufsen system, but I believe it's only 10 speakers, but if you pay for the upgrade, you get the 18 speakers.
Well, there is a lot of controls. Very nice display panel to really run everything here in the truck. Walk us through this.
This is an upgrade. This doesn't come standard on the Super Duty, which I wish, again, it's one of those things that should, because it's not that much money. When you're looking at their build sheets, it's the same thing as the cab lights up top. That literally is a $75 option from Ford. And this, I believe the upfitter switches is less than $200. Don't quote me on that. Ford will probably come after me for that. But this is like a huge feature for Super Duties, like especially even 150s, and you can't get it in the 150. This is what everything will be wired to. So when I put my auxiliary lighting, the rock lighting, like I'll be able to literally flip a switch just like that and have my rock lighting turn on. If you do any light bars, again, flip a switch. And these are so nice because it's built into a box up there to make wiring brain dead. Anybody could do it. And then you're hooked up and you're ready to rock with all of these. Eventually, you asked what else I was gonna do on the outside. I wanna do a train horn. I can't fit a 37-inch spare tire. So you can literally put a train horn in these hooked to air compressor. So I can have onboard air for my tires when I go off-roading out in the mountains, whatnot. But it also can run my train horn, and all of that will be connected to these. So that's a huge option for me.
You mentioned the bags that however heavy a trailer happens to be, that you load up on this puppy, that you can level that. Is that controlled by the auxiliaries, or is there another control in here?
Yep, so I'll wire it to one of these as well, because it'll run on an air compressor as well. So that air compressor can stay full. Everybody knows air compressors, they leak off. Well, if I'm ready to use them, all I do is flip a switch. It'll fill that air compressor. When the air compressor's full, I can turn that off if I want to, or leave it on so power stays. But then I'll have it'll look like a garage door remote, and that'll control my up and down, filling my bags. But I'm also getting a nice air compressor where I will be able to control either side of my bags. So if you did an in-bed camper, and let's say you got caught in a windstorm, nobody likes driving a Jeep in a windstorm because it's a box and you get blown around. Well, with a big camper, that can tilt your truck. But with the compressor that I'm gonna do, all I would do is fill the one side that's leaning and it'll level me back out.
Oh, that is sweet.
Most people just have a single auxiliary bag system, and you can't do that. So
I wish I'll bet those semi-truck drivers going out I-80 here in Utah wish they could. I'm sure they've got something, but you see them tipping over all the time.
Oh yeah, that wind.
Let's talk about the kind of this display panel and what all it controls, diagnoses. What does it do?
Yeah, I mean, it's a 12-inch display. You can do pretty much everything but launch a rocket from it. Again, you can control all your features for your vehicle, driver's assistance, you can turn on and off, cruise control, adaptive versus regular, speed limit assist so that it won't go over a certain speed limit when it's running cruise control, pre-collision assist so you can't run into the people in front of you or anything like that. The options are endless in here. I could spend 3 days talking to you about this. You can set those running boards that I was talking about. You can leave those down if you want, you know. If you don't want to have the up-down mode, you can leave them down. I have approach detection on, so like if I'm at the grocery store and I got a bunch of crap in my hands, whatever, as soon as I walk up to the truck, those come down. It makes it super easy. It knows when I'm around. That helps. When I walk up to the truck, the wife side comes down. Pro power on board. I literally have like a generator that runs in the back if I want. I flip a switch, push a button here, and I can literally run a generator. I can't remember the wattage, it's like 700. I have to run the truck to do it, but you know, it's a powerhouse. I mean, you can run your job site tools, basically, is what I use it for. I mean, you could spend all day in here. I have onboard scales, which literally measures the weight in my bed.
Oh, that's great.
So, I mean, you could go stand back there and I'll tell you how much you weigh. Like, you know, so you know what your payload capacity is, how close you're getting to that, you know, all that kind of stuff. I have off-road, you know, details. I have my fuel economy details on this side. You can run a whole bunch of different things on this stuff.
And then it's a full entertainment center as well.
Yeah, yep. I run my CarPlay from here. It has a whole bunch of apps, everything you can control your phone from, as well as its own audio system, Sirius XM, regular radio, stuff like that. But
let's talk about some of the unique things that happen when you take a truck like this and you add oversized tires. You said they're 37s?
Yep.
And you also add a lift kit to it. There's some things that need to be adjusted: adaptive cruise control, the size of the tires, other things that can affect the speedometer and the you know, the mileage and so forth. So what do you have to do with a vehicle like this to actually make sure it's set up correctly?
Yeah, there's a ton that goes into it. And with the help of the guys at Ford and my friends that I worked with to build this, I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff that I probably can't cover that I don't even know about. But yeah, there's a whole ton of adjusting for that adaptive cruise because you actually have sensors in the front of the vehicle that are calibrated from the factory being that low. So when you raise it up this much, it's not just 4 inches, you know, it's 37-inch tires, a 4-inch lift, which actually goes 5 inches up. Plus, you know, you're actually leveling out the truck. So it's more than just the 4 inches and the 37s, you know. I couldn't give you an exact number, but they have to adjust for that. The lane keeping assist is amazing on these trucks. So I have cameras in the windshield, camera in the front, and this thing literally will drive itself. When I have adaptive cruise set and lane assist on, it will drive. And yes, you have to have your hand on, you know, it's got to have weighted feedback to know that you're paying attention still and everything. But on a turn, it will follow those lines and it will turn. So there is so much technology in these trucks nowadays that has to be accounted for when they're doing big builds like this.
And tell us anything unique as far as the controls on the entire steering column. I did notice when the door was open earlier that there's a little pad on that left side. What does that do?
Yeah, so there's an actual switch, whatever you want to call it. It's a rocker. It's a 360 directional rocker that actually controls the entire steering column up, down, in, and out. So, you know, when my wife drives this vehicle, I have memory seating, which is awesome because when my wife drives this vehicle, again, she's 5 foot, so she's 1 foot and 2 inches shorter than me. Hers is saved on 3. I would push it, but I would be crushed to show you how hers sits, but it will automatically adjust to how I've set and saved everything. You know, like everything nowadays is electronic on these upper end trim levels. I have foot pedal adjustment down here. I can push the top or bottom of this and those pedals will literally come up or go back.
So if you're a person with instead of a short torso and long legs, I'm a long torso and short legs.
Yep.
I have the ability to adjust that pedal so that I can reach it more comfortably.
Exactly.
Because I don't like being sucked up to the steering wheel. I need to be back. I almost lay back a little bit. My wife hates it, but I like laying back a little bit, and it does affect how easy it is to touch the pedals and control the vehicle.
Oh yeah, 100% agree. And unfortunately, you know, you have to pay for this kind of stuff. It's these upper trim levels that get the nice stuff like that, because the lower trim levels, you don't get the pedal adjustment. You don't even get this automatic adjustment with the steering wheel or memory seating. It's all that analog, you know, unlock the steering wheel and move it up and down and pull it. I'm like you, I have to be laid back, but I spend, you know, anywhere from 7 to 12 hours a day in my truck. You know, I'm a contractor.
It needs to be an office.
Yep. I spend all my day and hours in here, so I want to be comfortable. I don't want to be cramped. So another big thing for me is the heated and cooled seats. Like,
that's awesome.
I run hot 99% of the time. It's got to be negative degrees out here for me running the heated, but you have to get the cooled. Like, I run that every day of the year, basically.
Do they offer that in the back seats as well? Is that an option?
Unfortunately, they haven't gotten that far, but I do have heated seats back there.
Okay.
So we do have heated. It's hard to supply the air because, as you'll come to see, but the only air supply running to the back, and it's not a negative, it's great air supply, but it comes through this center console. You have vents here on the back of this console, and then you have 2 vents that are actually under our chairs that blow back.
Okay.
But they don't actually have a vent, you know, in the ceiling or in the door panel or anything that, so you couldn't get a blower access to those back seats.
Is this still zoned so people in the back can control their own airflow and that, or anything like that?
In terms of like shutting and opening their vents, they can do that on the console vent.
Gotcha.
The ones underneath the seat are just open blowers. But I mean, I've never had a problem as long as we're running the air conditioning again, because I'm hot all the time.
Awesome. And you've got a, is this a dash cam that you've got attached in here? I know these are accessories that anybody can get anywhere, but you know, you've got, you know, a few little toys up here. Do you have a rear dash cam too? I noticed that that's becoming more popular.
Yeah, when I bought this camera, it was right before a road trip that we were going on, so I installed it. It does have a rear view camera, but it does have to be hardwired to this main unit.
Okay.
So I didn't have time before the road trip, but I'll be pulling this headliner slightly so that I can run the wires seamlessly. I don't want to have a wire hanging.
Gotcha.
Especially with this sunroof, you don't want something hanging out over it.
Do they have an option that you can purchase from Ford that would allow you to utilize the existing cameras in the truck, the backup camera, the front cameras, those?
They do not. The only people offering that, as I'm aware of in today's industry, is Tesla.
Gotcha.
They're the only ones offering.
Yeah, and they have motion sensor and stuff. Everything's kind of moving in that direction, but
this does have the cameras and motion sensors. There's motion sensors all the way around this truck, which actually contribute to my alarm system, but they're not actually tied to the cameras. Like, the cameras don't record.
I love seeing these vehicles. I love getting up close and personal with them. And to have somebody that just recently got this and got all these bells and whistles and these add-ons and the modifications and so forth, it's been fun to see it up close and be able to do this shoot and this interview and just have you walk us through it. So really appreciate it. You know, you'll love it. We'll make sure and send out a link when we drop the video, but you're gonna love it. We're looking forward to getting that as well. So appreciate it very much.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.